My name is Steve Younis from SupermanHomepage.com. This is all the Superman related news that happened during the week January 6th to January 12th, 2012. In movie news, Variety.com revealed that Richard Schiff, best known for his Emmy-winning role as Toby Ziegler on NBC's The West Wing, has joined the cast of Man of Steel. Schiff will be playing Dr. Hamilton, who he revealed in an interview with IamRogue.com is Emil Hamilton, who is a scientist. However, he would not confirm if his character is the same one found in the comics or whether he will be portrayed as Superman's friend or enemy in the upcoming film. Photographer Christine Kilpatrick snapped new photos of Kevin Costner on location in North Vancouver filming a scene as Jonathan Kent. It appears as though the scene includes a few Smallville High School students, as one photo shows a number of young people wearing varsity jackets with an S similar to those seen in the TV series Smallville. The Vancouver Sun posted photos taken this week outside Empress Bar on East Hastings Street in Vancouver, where Amy Adams was seen leaving for the day after filming scenes for her role as Lois Lane. A photo posted on Nerdist.com shows a construction sign erected during filming on Man of Steel when they were in Chicago. The sign reads "Metropolis will rise again," and if you look closely at the bottom, the logos are for the Daily Planet Reconstruction Fund. Does this mean we'll be seeing destruction of buildings, specifically the Daily Planet building? We'll just have to wait and see. For those aiming to remain spoiler-free for this movie, you might want to look away for the next 5 seconds or so, as this photo was captured on set this week during filming for Man of Steel involving a logging truck. Can't imagine how the driver is going to explain that to his boss. Film Sketcher posted an interview with concept artist Peter Rubin, the man responsible for the design of the Superman S insignia for the Man of Steel movie. He said, "What we did behind the scenes is going to have repercussions in the business, and on screen it's going to knock people's socks off, in my opinion." TimBurton.jp posted more concept artwork for the never-made Superman Lives movie. This time around we see Brainiac in humanoid form, and Doomsday, who in this version of the story would have been a monster genetically engineered by Brainiac. In TV news, a reminder that the Los Angeles Comic Book and Science Fiction Convention on Sunday, January 15th, features the Adventures of Superboy cast reunion. The cast will be on hand to meet fans and sign autographs from 11 AM to 4 PM, with a Q&A panel hosted by Stephen Kirk. In comic book news, the Superman homepage Ask Matt fan forum has been updated for another month. Matt Idelson, the editor of the Superman comic books, answers the most recent questions put to him by Superman fans. Come by the site now to see what he had to say about the death of Superman, about Superman meeting up with Superboy, and more. There was just the one comic book for us to review this week, and that was Action Comics number 5, which Michael Bailey reviewed, saying, "I'm a bit put off by the fact that we have been given yet another origin for Superman. The thing is, I really like this one," and he gave it a 4 out of 5. Superman comics available this week from January 11th include DC Universe Online Legends number 21, Superboy number 5, and Young Justice Volume 1 trade paperback.
This week we have a couple of new releases. Check out this set of 4 kooky cans. There's Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman and Green Lantern. These 8.5-inch tall tin lunch boxes come with their own kooky craft inside. Buy the set for only $35.95. And what about this new Superman extruded logo black t-shirt with its colourful 3D style S shield, available in various sizes starting from only $19.25. Buy these items and more at your one-stop Superman shop, the Superman Homepage online store at supermanhomepage.com/shop.
In other news, seems it was a week for the revelation of concept art from never-made Superman projects, with SiliconEra.com posting a series of images from a video game codenamed Blue Steel, which was under development by Factor 5 back in 2008 before the company went under. This is a game we've mentioned before, and now newly released concept art reveals that Superman would have been up against villains such as Lex Luthor, General Zod, Non, Caliban and Darkseid. Lego builder Rob Gillies has created an amazing TV set that features Superman flying over a scrolling backdrop of Metropolis. The backdrop is built of alternating 1 and 2 brick width columns mounted on a loop of bulldozer treads which allows it to scroll. Last but by no means least, the Superman homepage is pleased to announce that Jack O'Halloran, who played Non in the Superman movies, will be our special guest in our next edition of Radio KAL Live. Jack will be available to answer your questions during our live talk show, Be sure to tune in on Monday, January 16th at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. To listen in, visit supermanhomepage.com/live at the designated time. That's all the Superman news there was for the week January 6th to January 12th. This is actually our 7th anniversary of starting the Speeding Bulletins. We started back in January 2005. Thanks for watching. I'm Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com.
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott!
Hello everyone, welcome to Great Scott. Listen to me, friends. If you think Superman Returns was the worst Superman movie ever made, a film that shouldn't even have taken the time to put itself on celluloid, let me tell you something, friends. You are wrong. The problem with Superman Returns, obviously, for many people, is that Superman had a child, went away, came back, seemed to be somewhat of a stalker to some people. I contest, though, that he wasn't stalking, but just checking in, making sure Lois was okay, which he has always done, and which he does to the population on a regular basis. You could consider eavesdropping to be someone floating above the earth, listening to everything that's going on. However, if he didn't do that, and if 911 wasn't there to hear your personal problems, and if a passerby on the street didn't hear the woman getting beaten by a man who happened to be her boyfriend or husband, and didn't then intervene, perhaps she would have been killed. What am I saying? What I'm saying is, sometimes people have to put their noses into other people's business in order to make sure that those other people end up okay. And sometimes people are against that sort of behavior, but hopefully it turns out well in the long run. And I think in Superman Returns, it did. Superman went to see, make sure that Lois was okay, make sure everything was all right, found out that she was, and chagrined, flew away, saddened. People were also bothered by this. They called him a whiner, someone who pined away for something he couldn't have, although a better man and Richard won out. I don't think this was necessarily the case, but I will say that from the beginning I was stringently against Superman leaving the Earth for 5 years. Not because he might be an absentee father, because, let's face it, he did not know Lois was pregnant, and neither did she. And when he left, he left thinking that he was going to find Krypton. And I think that that was a necessary journey. However, since they didn't really cover it in detail in the movie, they just said he left because someone said that Krypton was out there. Reading behind the scenes, we find out that it was Lex Luthor who perpetuated the whole deed and made everyone think that there were possibly bits of Krypton, and because he was hoping that he could chase Superman away from the Earth, which worked. They didn't go into that in the movie. Also, I think on an emotional level, and I think thinking about the civilization that he was from and hoping that he could recontact with people, he was hoping to go back out into space and find remnants of Krypton. But I don't believe Superman, who loves this planet and wants to protect everyone on it, would go away unknowingly for 5 years and leave us to our own devices. You could say, well, we had survived up until he arrived. Sometimes there were disasters that he might have been able to avert or make less than what they were. But we were around, and people got through their day without Superman. So it could be said that it would be okay for him to leave or never to have been here because he wasn't to begin with, and now that he is, things are better, but if he goes away for a while, we'll have to get used to being alone again. But not really alone, just without Superman. But that was really the one sticking point for me. I also think it was somewhat of a mistake to introduce a child of Superman and Lois Lane, but not for some of the reasons that I hear. Some people say, a child out of wedlock, I have to turn my head to that movie. And to do that means that we're placing some sort of religious rules on Superman, and it's okay to have your own personal religious beliefs, obviously, but we've never seen Superman to be held to those. We've never seen him go to church. We've never seen him talk about religion, and I don't think it would be the right way to go with a character, unless you were specifically trying to attract that sort of a base to interest people in your religion by using a superhero that way. But to talk about having a child out of wedlock as being a problem for Superman means that we are introducing him to a religious set of values that he may or may not have. My problem with him having a child is the scientific implications, whether or not it could actually happen, and the fact that it introduces a whole new set of problems and plots that we're never going to explore, although we may have if there were sequels. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Great Scott. And remember, you are wrong.